Oh, hey guys, it's me, Christy. I'm coming in for week 78 update. I am 17 months out. I had my vertical sleeve gastrectomy in October 15th, 2011. Yeah, so what am I dealing with this week? I think that, a lot of things are flying around in the community about relationships and how they're dealing with their spouses and YouTube and Facebook and the meet and greets and all that. And I figured I would just sort of address my issue. Try to anyway without sounding too much like I'm complaining. So yeah, when I started off wanting weight loss surgery, me and my husband had been separated. And my reasons for wanting weight loss surgery weren't because of this separation. My separation had a lot to do with miscommunication between me and my husband, and just frankly some immaturity things going on there that I didn't think were happening, and I was dealing with a lot of other things at the same time. So yeah, so the reason why I had weight loss surgery is not because we were separated. It was because I had to do something about myself. I was very depressed at the time, and struggled for about 3 years to get the weight off. That year that I looked into it, I had joined Weight Watchers, and I had lost about 12 pounds, and I wasn't able to keep it off. And that really sent me into a deeper depression than I was in. And I did it for a year, and that was my last real try at something that I had tried before, that had worked in the past, that I thought would work again, but it really didn't. So for me, it just I couldn't do it. And so I looked into having weight loss surgery, and during the time that I was going through the classes and the programs and stuff, they had talked about the percentages of divorce rate within the weight loss surgery community. And they said, it's very high, and there's reasons why. And I thought to myself, well, I don't have to worry about this because we're separated, and this is it. And well, the fact of the matter is, I love my children and I love my husband, and I really took my marriage vows seriously. And even though we were married outside and not in the church by a justice of the peace, I still took them as the word. And I always made a promise to myself that I would never hurt somebody in a way that I couldn't repair. And I had learned that at a very young age, that you could really hurt somebody and mess somebody up bad with relationships. So for me, my moral compass has always been true north. So, and Brian is that for me. And the issues that I am having now are my own insecurities, which is I've stopped losing weight, and I've really got to get on some kind of a routine and find balance. And my other real problem is how to handle the jealousy or insecurities of my partner and my best friend. And I'm trying really hard to include him in everything. And I put it out there for him to take full advantage of what's going on. And I would love to go to a meet and greet sometime, or just actually meet some of the people that I chat with, or that I subscribe to. Because, I find that with this tool that we have, the YouTube community, it's a way to relate and feel like you're not alone. That, you're suffering through these trying times, and you're changing, and your body's changing, and your mind is changing, and you can't lose sight of the people that you love that are directly involved with you. I mean, it's so easy to get wrapped up in the glory of it. But in reality, it's difficult. It's dirty. It's ugly. I've went out with my husband a couple of times already, and he doesn't like what I'm saying or who I'm saying it to, and I'm not saying anything bad. I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide from him, and it's just I feel like almost like he's a little bit insecure, not insecure, but jealous in a way of seeing how happy that I am and that I can be happy. And I just want that to be something to motivate him to make a better life for himself, because I can't do it for him. He has to be the one to do it for himself. And that's the same way with, if you want a better life with your mate, then you have to be the one to make the changes, because they're not going to make them. They're not going to make them different. They're not going to change. You've got to be the one to make those changes. And that's a huge, huge, huge lesson that I've learned. Because during, this past year, I think that a lot of things have happened to me personally that I know other people wouldn't have handled them that way. But the way that I handled them is completely different than the way somebody else would handle them. And, this sounds really wonky. No, it's hard because I don't want to say something that would hurt my husband. But at the same time, he did tell me, he said, well, maybe you should talk about that on your YouTube page. Well, this past weekend. So that was interesting to see him get very jealous over a bartender. A conversation that I wasn't even having. He was having with the bartender. Him and the bartender knew each other. So I was just listening to their conversation, not paying attention to anything, and just drinking my martini and just having a good night, and So he turned it in, he got in there and turned it all around, and I was just like, whatever. I'm in my own Christy world. So to deal with that was very, very difficult, because I thought he was crazy. And you know what? I don't have a perception of what I look like either. And I mean, we go out like every Friday night, and he he is there for, that. And he sees me every day, but it's different. And I dress differently, and I carry myself differently, and I talk differently. And sometimes he just doesn't like it, because it's that he does like it. And that's the only way I just can describe that feeling, and it just makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. And I'm really not. I'm just being myself. Shoot. But yeah, there's a lot of things on my mind, and that was my check-in this 2 weeks. 78 weeks out. 163. And we will see you next time. Failure is not an option. I'll see you next time.